welcome everybody back to another live stream on the TKW Facebook page. We are back again because unfortunately we have more severe weather to talk about, and I think it might be a little bit stronger, or it could be a little bit stronger, so I wanted to come on here live and tell you guys what we're thinking here, and let's bring up the graphic. And so, live severe weather discussion. Severe weather is likely. I went ahead and added likely. We'll go ahead and talk about that in a little bit. But in this live stream, we're going to break down the timing. We're going to let you know what we think the timing is, the impact of what we could see, tornadoes, strong tornadoes, let you know that. Fail modes. There could be some fail modes that could, I say, like, ruin the event, but somewhat ruin the event. Some uncertainties will let you know what we're still trying to figure out. And if you have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the chat. We'll make sure we read those, and make sure you comment your location, just so I make sure to cover everybody on the page here. But nice little view out here from the weather studio. This is from our apartment here in the Creve Coeur area. Very nice view. No goose or geese are out there this time around, so we should have a very quiet live stream. Alrighty, let's get into the live stream here. And how are you guys doing? Yes, I did. I dressed up just a little bit because, you know, this is a serious situation, so we gotta look professional here. And we have lots to talk about, so lots of things to talk about. We're gonna make sure we cover it, all of it, make sure it's easy for you guys to understand. So welcome everybody. How's it going? Glad to see you guys here. And it looks like audio is doing okay. Excuse me. So we'll let just a couple people come in. I just gotta share the live stream. My girlfriend, director of operations, is off today. So a lot of things hitting here. Gotta make sure I get all the graphics, because normally she's behind the scenes hitting the button. I just have to talk. So, but let's get started while we have people filtering here. Make sure you share the live stream, because there is lots of information that is going to be going around here. And so the main thing I want to start off here is looking at our severe weather risk. So our severe weather risk, as you heard, we are in a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Everybody here, let's go to the Epic pin, and everybody is in a 3 out of 5 that we cover here. So everyone is in a 3 out of 5. That is not 3 out of 5 chances of seeing severe weather. That is enhanced severe weather. So that means numerous storms could be severe. That's what the 3 out of 5. And then off the screen near Sedalia, Lebanon, Springfield is a 2 out of 5. And then back off towards Kansas City is 1 out of 5. And I wanted to let you guys know is that this enhanced risk did get shifted over to the west a little bit. At first, it only covered up to about the Lynn, the Fulton area, but now includes the Jefferson City, Columbia, all the way down near Waynesville. So, wanted to let you guys know that. So, we are in a 3 out of 5, and I'll show you in just a little bit what the Storm Prediction Center was thinking, but let's go into the probabilities. So, this here, this is a little bit confusing, but I'm going to make it as easy as possible. So, day 1, day 2 risk show you the probabilities of each category. So, tornado probability, hail probability, and wind. Now, once you get to day 3, and then the day 1 is the day of. So, the day 3 technically doesn't work like that, but you get the idea. So day 3 just gives a probability. This is what you see here. This is just a probability of seeing severe weather. So basically all that means is, before I tell you what these colors mean, is if a storm forms, there is a high likelihood that it could become severe. We're not sure if the enhanced risk is for wind. We're not sure if it's for hail or tornadoes just yet. That is something that we'll have to wait till tomorrow to figure out what the exact significance of it. But what you see on your screen is a 45% chance. I got a couple of messages about some people posting about 60%. This is only 45%, which means 45% chance of seeing severe weather. And the little hash marks on there, you see those lines on there, that means that is severe weather with a stronger storm. We're talking about maybe a stronger tornado, large hail up to baseball size, or wind up to 80 miles per hour. in this fenced hatched area. But right now what we're just seeing here is a 45% chance if a storm forms, it could come severe. So it's almost on the high end that most of the storms will come severe. So that is what we're looking at. So right now, like I said, in this part, there's nothing to panic about. We don't have a category like high-end tornado threat, high-end hail threat. This is just a probability of seeing severe weather. It doesn't break down exactly what it is. So that is the overall risk. And then once we get into the day 2, once we get into tomorrow, that's when we could have like a tornado probability or wind probability and our hail, and we can see exactly where the Storm Prediction Center is placing our outlook. So that is something that you need to be watching out for tomorrow, because that is when we have the Storm Prediction Center. They're going to give us a more detailed outlook instead of just giving us a like, hey, severe weather's happening. So before I go into the models here, I wanted to show you something. The Storm Prediction Center has showed this. Let's see if I can grab this here. Let me pull this up. And so when they issue these outlooks here, they issue a discussion. And we're not going to read the whole discussion, because if we were to read the whole discussion, we would be here a while, okay? It's just a lot to read, and a lot of you guys will not really understand what it means. But I do want to let you guys know, towards the bottom here, it is very hard to see here. And I would just circle the part, and I'm also just going to read it to you. So basically, when they made this outlook, you know how we're in a 3 out of 5. It said a categorical upgrade to a level 4, a moderate risk, a 4 out of 5 on the severe weather scale was considered, but will await additional guidance, which will hopefully clarify how early day convection will evolve. So right now, the Storm Prediction Center is still a little bit iffy. We're going to tell you, like we said, we're going to talk about the fail modes and all that stuff and why we agree with this as well. But there's a couple of things in the wording department of the Storm Prediction Center that is a little bit concerning but not scary, if I should say. Is that they also say that strong tornadoes, potential for long track tornadoes is not out of the question. So a little bit scary wording here, and we'll break it down here in just a second. But like I said, potential for long track tornadoes are not out of the question, and also a category upgrade to level 4 moderate was considered. So that's just not, they're just done thinking about for today. We may wake up tomorrow in the 4 out of 5, but let's get into the data. Let's get into the models and the timing here, just so we can get an idea of actually what's going to happen and my honest opinion. So this is the best part. This is the timing. This is where I'm going to be the most honest with you about what I think. And let me pull it up here. Let's get our screen clean. Let me go back here. Let's add this. Give me just a second. I'm just going to add something just so you guys can see the time. So you guys can see the time here. So, and while I'm bringing all this stuff up, a lot of people ask me if I'm scared about this system. And as of right now, I am not really like scared, like panicking. But I think it's definitely something that we should be watching. I think it's something that you should keep on your radar. Is something that's worthy of this live stream update. So that's basically a short answer. So let's get into the timing here. This is the future radar. This is more like a worst case scenario, but it's almost shows somewhat accurate. So shows a lot of days. So Saturday, you can see it shows Saturday, nothing to worry about there. Sunday, nothing to worry about there. And here we go. Now we're on Monday. The time's in the top part of the screen. Some people said it's easier to see it on YouTube. So YouTube Team Kenny Weather over there. If that works, you can put it on TV. But timing here, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., morning time. We have to watch for some early morning showers. Now, this model is being very light. Being very light on the convection, which is going to be good. There's going to be a cap in place, okay? A cap, remember, if you remember everybody, a cap is where there's warm air and storms cannot rise. It's just like a chopping block. It's just going to just chop the updrafts. The storms cannot form at all. So that is something as well. And then as we go into Monday afternoon, this is where it starts to get a little bit juicy. This is where the meat and potatoes of the severe weather event will be happening. And you can see as we get into the afternoon time, see the line of showers and thunderstorms here. Now, I want to show you that because you see how it's just staying to the north, and then we have our main convection. This is at 5 p.m. But look at this, everybody. This is what you guys need to see here. Look how crowded it is. It looks like we're at Texas Roadhouse. Very crowded here. And the storms are trying to form in a line. But the thing is what we're watching out for is why we have that strong severe weather in place. Is because if these remain discrete, and basically what I mean by discrete is like something like this. Is where they're all by themselves. They can take up all the energy that they need. They have nothing stopping it. This is where we can see our long track tornado, severe tornado in this particular situation. Now, this model is not, it's going to be like right over Mexico, Missouri. It's just a general ideal of where this could be at here. And as we get into the evening time, this model right here, this is 6 p.m. And you see how it's trying to form into a line. It's trying to form into a line. And if that happens, we'll still see severe weather, but it'll be more like a damaging wind, quick spin up tornado, and some large damaging hail, which potentially could be up to baseball size. But if we can get our sails to be very discreet and nothing, and it doesn't form into a line, that's when we have to really start to panic, because that's when the severe weather actually explodes and heightens, and that's where we can verify those potential long track tornadoes. But right now it's like it's not guaranteed that we'll have long track tornadoes, life-changing events. It's not guaranteed that we'll have like EF2, EF3. It's possible, okay? It's possible, everybody. Like I said, I don't want your anxiety to go through the roof, because it's not likely. It's possible. Okay, everyone? It's possible. And then as we go into the rest of the evening, you can see it really starts to form in a line. So it's like at the early parts of this, at least on this model, at the early parts, we have to watch if it's discrete. If it's discrete, it's not good. If it's in a line, we'll still see severe weather, but it just won't be crazy like it will be. So this model is showing severe weather, and then it's done by 2 p.m. So this one starts around like 4, 5, especially 5 p.m. This model timing. We're going to show you multiple, but around 5 p.m. And then it scoots all the way through by 10 p.m. And just want to let you guys know before we get too far in this, I have adjusted my work schedule to make sure we are live for this whole event. So like I said, we're going to be live for this whole event. No matter what happens, we are going to be here regardless. And I appreciate my job for letting me adjust my schedule for me to be able to be here for you guys and provide the live stream. So this is just one model. Let's go to a different model. And like I said, yes, we are going to be live here for the severe weather event on Monday. So if you guys are needing weather coverage, or anybody that that needs weather coverage, we will be here on Monday. So let's take a look at the NAM. The NAM is a little bit different, and this is almost like the best case scenario in my opinion, because you can see here as we go into Sunday morning, is maybe some showers, but let's fast forward to Monday here. Not really too worried about Sunday. We do have a severe weather risk, but nothing to worry about. So as we go into Monday, look how busy it is. It is busy. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on here. Lots of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. And as we get into 10 a.m., look, we have a line of showers and thunderstorms here. And this could produce a hail threat, maybe isolated tornado at best. But I really think that it is, going to be very limited. But look, as we get into the afternoon time, still raining, thunderstorms, non-severe weather. It's going to take up the environments, and then by the time the storms come around 7 p.m., there's not much to work with. Look how skinny. You see how skinny the line is compared to the last model that we showed. The last model was very wide and discrete. This is basically the best case scenario, and it shows some quick spin up tornadoes, damaging winds, and some hail that will be possible. This will be the best case scenario. And you see how like the first model is different from this model? That is the uncertainty of the Storm Prediction Center, and that's why we did not get a 4 out of 5 just yet on the day 3 outlook. If these models start to agree overnight and into tomorrow, there could always be an upgrade to 4 out of 5. It was already considered. So, like I said, I just want you guys to be aware that it means that numerous storms could be severe. But you can see if it rains during the morning, like we have been talking about, you see how it rains here at 11 a.m. It's just going to ruin the environment. Not a lot of time to recover itself before that main line comes through with this system. So that is that model, and you know, that is the best case scenario. And let's show the NAM model. That was the NAM 3K. The NAM model here is not a high resolution model, so we're not going to really see very good detail here of what's going on. It's just going to give us an overview of what we can expect there. Holly says, thank you, Kenny's job. Yeah, it's very nice. I really do appreciate them. Yes, they will let me, so I should be available around lunchtime if everything works out. So that is great news. So we are going to be here with you. We're going to have multiple people behind the scenes watching radar as well. We're going to have all of our staff in on Monday. It's going to be great. We're going to have lots of coverage, and we'll keep you guys safe, okay? We're going to stay calm. We're not panicking. We're not going to say your house is about to be destroyed. We're not saying that. We're not at that point, everybody, okay? We're not saying guaranteed strong tornadoes, life-changing events. It's just possible and likely that we will see severe weather. So, Sunday, nothing to worry about. Monday, you can see the NAM doesn't really show any morning convection, okay? The NAM is not really showing much. And then as we get into 4 p.m., you see it's not very strong here. It's not very strong, but you can see that we have a line of thunderstorms. Remember, not too long ago, I told you if we have a line of thunderstorms, it will reduce the strong tornado threat, and we'll have damaging winds. We'll still have a tornado threat, but we'll have damaging winds and hail being the main risk with that. And you can see it's not really discrete here, and this is around 4 p.m. Like I said, the timing is really not in detail yet, so let's plan between 2 and 10. I know it's a huge window, but right now on Saturday, 2 to 10 at the current moment. But I just wanted to show you what the model is thinking, and you can see it wraps up as we get into Tuesday morning. So NAM is showing, you can see it's very messy, not really showing any storm development until we get into around the 4 p.m. And you never know, everyone. These little storms could be discrete, but the main thing is you can see a line of showers and thunderstorms with severe weather embedded with these storms. So that is that as well. Okay, Matthew says, yes, thank you. I'll be watching too. Perfect. Like I said, we're going to be live. And also, we have just upgraded to the fiber internet. So we're going to have no frame drops, hopefully no internet drops. All we have to worry about is the power, but it is underground. So we have a little bit of advantage, everybody. So lots of things here. And now I wanted to show you the HRRR. HRRR, everybody. And we were going to go live a little bit later, but so we could watch the newest data, because the newest data of the HRRR, everybody, the high rapid refresh resolution, rapid refresh. It's a long name, but it's just an hour by hour model. And basically everybody, and the 0Z at the HRRR is like a cinema. Like, you need to go to the movie theaters, because that is going to be the first like real high resolution data that we have that is like a OG, not experimental, but it's like a reliable source, and we'll be able to see the event. So we'll see about that. Samantha says, thanks for not doom reporting. Yes, we try not to do that, because I don't want you guys to get scared, and there's always a high likelihood that things could change. So not going to doom report, not going to say your house is going to get destroyed. So it's not, I wouldn't even put possible, okay? I wouldn't even put possible. Still conditional. So look at the HRRR. This is the latest data that we have, okay? And as we go into Monday here, it keeps the storms up to the north. And you're probably wondering, why is every model showing that? Well, a cool thing is, we'll show you in just a second, there is a boundary. There is a boundary up here, and basically there is nice and cool air over here and nice and warm air down here. Well, storms don't like the hot and nasty air. They like the cool air. So right along this line, that is where it's very, very nasty. It's almost like the easiest way, I don't know if it's going to help, but it's like you have the oven preheated to 350 degrees, and you have your house on, let's just say 70. I know you guys are different, but the house is set on 70. And the door of the oven is that line right there. So like outside the oven you have cold air, and inside the oven you have warm, humid, nasty air. And that's basically what this boundary is. So I'm not sure if that made sense, but that what I drew is exactly what I just described there. And basically that's why all the storms are staying up to the north. And if anything below anything below that pink line, that's we'll have to watch the severe weather threat. And take a look here, because you can see as we get into the afternoon time, watch how you see how everything is below that line. We're still at the showers and thunderstorms. We have to watch. This is where the HRRR cuts off at 1 p.m. and around like 8:30 or so, 8:45, we'll have the day that continues. But HRRR is already trying to show a line of thunderstorms. Now, we could definitely get some storms embedded that could pose a tornado risk, but this to me looks like a low-end tornado risk and a more of a damaging winds and hail. So if we get a line, basically, if we get a line of storms, low-end tornado, damaging winds, and hail. If we get discrete cells, that's where we may get a strong tornado that will be possible. But I want to let you guys know. 1 second. And I want to let you guys know here is that the severe weather, let's go back to this model here. And I just want to be honest with you guys, okay? I want to be honest with you. Look at this, okay? Let's take a look. And I appreciate the comments that people send me that I sound like I'm sitting right next to them during the live streams. I really do appreciate that. But let's get to, I want to show you this. This is the RRFS model. It's a experimental model, but I think it's doing the best job. It shows the worst case scenario. And if you haven't seen at the beginning, we're going to go over it. If you didn't watch from the beginning, we'll show you the model, the RRFSA model. Basically, hour by hour model, that's all it is. It's a long name. And you can see Monday, a lot of storms out to the north, nothing to worry about for us here. And then you can see at 3 p.m. You see how at 3 p.m. we just have a fat supercell right here? This could pose the tornado threat, the strong tornado threat. But look at this, everybody. You see how it doesn't show the exact location, but you see how it's just in like one area. Not everybody and not every house and every single subdivision and every city is going to see a strong tornado. Okay, when they do the severe weather outlooks, is severe weather possible 25 miles from a point. So like St. Louis, 25 miles from a point, there's a chance of seeing severe weather within a storm. So that's what it means. It's not saying like everybody in the TKW studio is going to see a strong tornado and your house is going to be destroyed. That is not what it means. It just shows like, okay, this storm right here could pose a tornado threat, hail threat, damaging wind threat. And then as it goes into the 4 p.m., you see how it's still not for everybody here. And even when we go to 5 p.m. Look, down south near Sullivan, Rolla, St. James, Potosi, you guys still haven't seen nothing. There could be a whole tornado outbreak up here, and you guys are just sitting comfortably and eating your dinner, and nothing's really happening. So, that you see what I'm saying? And then, as we get into 6 p.m., it could be widespread, but that's when we think it's going to turn into a line. So everybody's going to see severe weather, but not everybody's going to see a high-end severe weather, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, not everybody's not going to see a high-end severe weather threat. Stephanie says, the fear mongering with some of these weather pages today have been crazy. Thank you for not doing that. You're very welcome. And also, I do not do this for the money. I do this to be honest with you guys. I want to tell you the truth. I want you guys to be safe. I don't want to scare you. And I don't need the money, okay? I don't want you guys have to watch any ads. I don't want you guys have to be scared so I can get paid. I do not want that. I want you guys to know the truth. I want you guys to know a face that you can trust when it matters most. And, I want to be here for you guys. And, I'm not here to scare you at all, because if I was here to scare you, I would tell you, EF5 tornadoes coming to our area. You need to start thinking, everybody needs to buy a storm shelter, know where to go, call off work. I'm not going to do that, okay? That is not what we do here. My thing is, if you're here, if you're new, is we're going to be accurate, we're going to be honest, and we're going to be reliable 24/7. We're always going to be here for you as well. So that is what we do here. So let me go back to a couple things here. And no, let's go to the hodographs, okay? Hodographs basically mean is, I think we have a hodograph on here. Hodograph is basically a sample of the storm. It looks like it's that algebra part that I talked about. It's very, we're going to help you understand it. Gasp. We're not going to die. That is the easiest way to say it, okay? We will all be okay, and I know you guys have seen that this is the strongest event that we have had so far, and because it's only April, okay? It's not like it's July, and, we haven't had severe weather, and then, okay, that makes sense. But, yeah. It is a strong one that we have seen, but remember, we only been through a couple severe storms, everybody. So it kind of makes sense why this is the strongest one that we have seen. So anyways, let's get into the models here. And here is your hodograph, everybody. And basically what this is, it just shows like it's just a little sample. This is a little sample of the storm. I know it looks like you guys are back in high school in algebra. I know that's what it looks like. It reminds me of it all the time. So couple things that I want to mention here. I know it's very hard to see here, is that this is around the afternoon time. So basically a couple things that we need to look at is the CAPE levels. Okay, CAPE levels is at the bottom left hand right next to my logo, and basically I'll read it out to you. It is 3,000 in the CAPE. Okay, it's 3,000 in the CAPE department. To have severe weather, you want at least 1,500. So we're like booming over the energy level. That is just the energy that we have. The SIN is basically the cap. The cap is basically not going to be there. That's why we do have the storms popping, and that's why they could remain discreet, because we won't have a cap. It will be eroded. We'll have it in the morning, but I think it will be eroded by the time we get into the afternoon time. And then also you can see the temperatures down here. We have healthy temperatures and very healthy dew points as well. So a lot of stuff is checking off here as far as thermodynamics. And down here near the sounding analogs here, it just goes off about like recent data, like when this graph looks similar, basically what happened. So basically when this storm happened, we seen hail from 2 inches up to 4 inches, so almost baseball size. So if that verifies, we could see some large hail and damaging winds. And then one thing here up in the top right hand corner of the screen, that is just like the spin in the atmosphere. And you can see how it has a little bit of a curve. It's not a strong curve with this, but basically if you send a weather balloon up, it is going to start to turn, which does show some rotation inside the atmosphere. And also as well, we have wind direction changing with height. So that is also, so like I said, it is possible to see the severe weather. And I think the enhanced risk is very well put together here. And to go back to the severe weather risk before we go over the data once again, we are in a 3 out of 5 on a severe weather scale. And basically what a severe weather scale it's just a probability. So it's just now one like 1 out of 3 chances that we'll see severe weather. It means that we'll see scattered severe storms. Moderate and high risk means numerous. That means almost everything that forms is going to be severe. That is what it means. And if we go to the probability, this is not like basically what we described earlier is that this is the probability of seeing severe weather. So this is 45% out of 60% basically. 45 to like 59%, not 60 and above like some other pages posted, but it is a 45% chance of seeing severe weather. Not 45% chance of strong tornadoes, hail. This just means that we could have a high likelihood of seeing severe storms, and there could be a high likelihood that some could be strong. And then as we get into tomorrow, we will be able to dig down and see what exactly each thing for the tornado, wind, and hail, we will really figure out why we have that severe weather risk. So that is that. And like I said, I wanted to mention the Storm Prediction Center here. Wanted to mention the Storm Prediction Center. Yes, if we happen to get, let's see, Georgie, if we happen to get a 60%, that is like classified severe weather outbreak. That is classified severe weather outbreak if that happens. But I do want to let you guys know that the moderate risk was considered. So basically it updates the day 3 updates in the morning and then updates in the afternoon. Well, when it got to the afternoon time, they discussed like, hey, maybe we should issue a moderate risk, a 4 out of 5. But the thing is that they wanted to wait additional, basically what it says here at the bottom part, it says 4 out of 5 moderate was considered, but will await additional guidance, which will hopefully clarify how early day convection will evolve. Because like I said, if we have morning storms, it could limit the severe weather. It won't get rid of the severe weather. It'll limit the severe weather. And I don't want to scare you. I really don't want to scare you. That's not why we're doing this. But I just want to let you know that they did highlight that potential for longer track tornadoes is not out of the question. There remains some uncertainty as how the convection will ultimately evolve during the afternoon, given the potential for early morning thunderstorms. And that is the main reason why they did not issue the 4 out of 5. And also with time, one or more stronger linear segments are expected to evolve for damaging winds and QLCS tornadoes would be possible. So that is that. Yes, 45% sounds much less scary, but basically all that means is probability. So there's a high chance that we could see severe weather. There's not a high threat that we're going to see a tornado outbreak. It's just severe weather. So high chance that we could see a tornado, high chance that we could see damaging winds and hail. So there you go. We're going to go over the models again because we had a couple people just tune in. We're going to go over the data once again. So that is just the overview right there. And I was telling people at the very start of the live stream that at around like 8:30, like 8:45, 8:50-ish, that is where we're going to see this HRRR update here. But I want to show you guys something. So something to really understand here with the severe weather potential time. We'll see if the time adjusts at the top part. Okay, did not. Give me 1 second. Let me put the time back up here so you guys can see. And let's see where it goes. Okay, I don't see it. So we'll see if it updates here. Let me refresh this real quick. Normally I have my producer behind the scenes switching it, but I'm here at the studio by myself. So the time is not quite working, but we'll wait on that. So as we go into Monday, watch the temperatures here. And you can see we're going to heat up very well, which is going to help the severe weather risk here. And it's not really showing accurately, but you can see we do have a little bit of a boundary in place, and that's basically going to help the severe storms. That's going to provide lift. That is going to help the severe weather to get going. So that's just a little bit, nothing, really worried about there. Let's go to the timing once again. We're going to use the hour by hour models here, and we're going to show you the composite reflectivity here. And this is just a simulation of the radar here. So pay attention. Let's see if I go here. Okay, there we go. We got the time fixed up here. Alright, so we're looking at the time here, and while I get to the time, if you're just joining, we will be live for the event. The whole event, we will be live. Luckily, my job was nice enough and let me take off early so we could be live for you guys. So we will provide live coverage for you guys as well. And also, let me know down in the chat if you guys want a live update tomorrow at 7 p.m. with the latest data. Basically, the last call before the severe weather event. Let me know down in the chat, and we can definitely do that if needed. So, Monday here, you see how the storms are just staying up to the north, and we do have some morning convection that tries to... This is really what we're going to have to watch here going into Monday morning, if we have any storms that try to form in the early morning hours. It's very iffy right now. Some models don't, some models do, and then some show very, very weak activity, which basically is almost like nothing. So you can see as we get into Monday, most storms are staying up front or to our north, and it creates a boundary. And real quick, it's just like at the oven. You set the oven to 350 degrees inside the oven. You have the door and the 70 degrees cooler on the outside. That's what that boundary is. Very warm and humid air. This is inside the oven. Here is your door. And then north of that is cooler air. So a lot of this is open. It is wide open. Drive-thru is open, ready to take your order for severe storms here. And you're going to see that play out here as we continue with the model. So as we go into the afternoon time, this is 3 p.m. Timing is a little bit off right now. Let's keep a 2 to 10 time frame. I know it's a huge range, but at least tonight, let's think about 2 to 10 p.m. right now. And you can see we do have a storm form. This is where we could see the long track tornado if it verifies. This is more at the worst case scenario. I just wanted to show you guys that it is possible. Not likely. This is not to get scared just yet. We need more data and then compare data. But I just want to show you guys this here. And 3 p.m. you can see is discrete. So this could have damaging winds and a tornado threat. We will most likely see a tornado watch if this plays out correctly. So we're going to see some type of watch, everybody. So make sure you're following our Facebook page, because we will make sure to post that as soon as it's available. And you can see at 4 p.m. it tries to form into a line, but still remain discrete. So that's where the long track tornado potential could be. But more of a tornado potential, hail, damaging winds, everything will be possible. And then as it moves into the area here, it starts to form into a line, but it tries to go into a line, stays discrete, tries to go into a line, stays discrete. Once it goes into a line, the stronger tornado threat will almost not be there. And then as you can see, about 7 p.m., that's where it starts to hit most of us here. Everybody behind that will be safe. Everybody in front of it is still in the warm, humid air mass, unstable air mass. And it's more of a line, but you can see we still have some discrete where we could see some strong storms here. So that is what we have to watch. And then as we go into the rest of the evening here, it starts to break up and then eventually turns into a line at around 10 p.m. once it's out of our area. So it's nothing at this moment that we're going to have to stay up late for, or, you might just have to stay up an hour or two past your normal bedtime. But around 10 p.m., most models are, almost around the same end time. The start time is just a little bit iffy. But like I said, we will most likely be off by like 11, 12 o'clock. So we will be live as long as we're needed. We have the fiber internet installed now, so no more internet delays or anything that happened there. So we're going to have a lot more reliable coverage for this stream and the future streams on this Facebook page. And you can see, as well as we get into Tuesday morning, it's going to be nice. And then we have to watch another round on Tuesday, but let's not worry about that. I'm not even going to talk about that. But like I said, 4 p.m., basically the evening commute into the evening time is where we have to watch here. You can see about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then very few of our counties, almost voice crack, is around 9 p.m. here. And then, best case scenario will show the NAM. And this is the best case scenario. The NAM is why, this is what they talked about, why they didn't issue the 4 out of 5. Is because look at Monday morning, you can see Sunday, nothing to worry about. Maybe some small showers will be possible here. But you can see, look at Monday, you can see we have the storms up here as well, but they start to come in a little bit early here. Look, as we get into the morning time, we have a line of showers and thunderstorms here, especially north of I-70, and that is going to pose a damaging wind threat, maybe a small hail threat, not the main part of severe, but it'll take the big chunk of the severe risk. It'll help the tornado threat out if we have this here. Because look, as we get into the afternoon time, lots of messy convection, nothing really forming, nothing's really discrete. We have the line of storms that come in around 7 p.m. And look how weak this is. It tries to get organized. We can see some spin ups, damaging winds, and an isolated hail, but it'll be on the lower end of things as it moves through the area. So regardless, we're going to have severe weather, but it's just not a slam dunk like it's going to happen that we're going to have a tornado outbreak, severe weather outbreak. We just really have to see what the morning storms do, and that's why the Storm Prediction Center has not issued a 4 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, or issue a 60% chance that we're going to see widespread, numerous severe storms, because 2 models are just showing different things, and we really need them to show the same thing for us to really figure out what's happening. But you can also see by the time we get to 10 p.m., it really starts to move out. So like I said, 2 to 10 p.m. is what we're thinking here. And let me pull up the NWS here. And this shows, this is their discussion here. Let's take this now. And this is the National Weather Service. This is what they're thinking. We'll see. Let's take a look to see if we agree. So big thing. Hey, everyone. Look at this. Severe. Okay, first thing it says severe weather expected Monday. Okay, we already know. Monday afternoon, evening, all hazards possible. Possible, everybody. Not likely. Possible. That is the key. So it says blah, 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 blah. It says morning storms have potential of producing severe hail. Their confidence is low. That's like we just saw with the NAM model. They also agree severe thunderstorms is largely possible between 2 to 10 p.m. So that's exactly what we're saying. And then all severe weather hazards, including very large hail, strong tornadoes, damaging winds, will be possible with these storms. So that is kind of what we have expected. And then the newest update, confidence slide updated, and the maximum hail size has increased. So let's take a look. Let's take a look here. This is more of a digital, easier to read version. And then also around like 9:30 or so, we will have another update, but it's going to be in text form. But also let me know as well if you want me to have another live update tomorrow as a last call here. So here we go. Here we go. This is unfortunate. It says maximum, I know, scary wording, but maximum damage currently expected with Monday afternoon, evening severe storms. So, one thing to look here. Tornado threat, number of tornadoes expected is not 0. It's on the low end. You see how they don't have outbreak, okay? Outbreak is not on the table right now, But like I said, we could see a strong tornado possible. So they do think the maximum expected strength, we could see EF2 plus. Now, I don't want you guys to get scared about that, okay? Don't want you guys to get scared about that. Coverage of storms with damaging hail, it's going to be scattered, almost numerous depending how it works out. And the Cardinals will be in town giving us free baseballs. And you see, baseball size are larger, so that can cause more damage to itself, even if we don't have any tornadoes. And then we can see damaging winds over here, coverage of storms with damaging winds, isolated up to 60 miles per hour, not 80 miles per hour, but we could throw 60 to 70 miles per hour on the chart here. Now, the uncertainties that we have is, like I said, cloud cover. And also, so the storm mode, the supercells are capable of very large hail and potentially strong tornadoes are expected. So during the afternoon, early evening hours, storms may trend to congeal into more linear segments. That means align with time. So the threat shifting more towards damaging winds and weaker tornadoes. This remains some uncertainty. So basically what they're saying is the atmosphere is primed for severe weather, significant severe weather, but the storm mode is not really certain with this situation. So we're confident that the parameters are there for severe weather. But here is what is still uncertain. And okay, Georgie says yes on another update tomorrow. Leslie says maybe tomorrow your prediction models will be more closely aligned. They should be. And then we also get some data later tonight that should help with that too. But yeah, tomorrow will be good. We also have our weather video as well, explaining the rest of the week. So make sure to watch out for that. But basically I just want to let you guys, I wanted to pop up on the live stream here just to calm you guys because there's a lot of fear going out there. There's a lot of hype. Just want to let you guys know what could like a fail mode that could be happening. It's not a slam dunk high and severe weather event right now. So what's uncertain the timing? We talked about that, but right now 2 to 10 in the area of the highest threat. So like I said, we're not quite sure exactly what's going to be happening. And basically, all you see right now is a prediction. And that's basically the easiest way to tell you what this paragraph or text means. Is right now, we're just predicting what happens. Tomorrow, when we get hours before the event, like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., that's when we could really tell you, like, okay, we can see radar, we can see what's actually happening. This is just a prediction. I just want to hop on here, calm your nerves a little bit, and, explain, because as always, I like to talk. So, like, it's hard to put it in text form. Rather, put it out here on a live video. You can watch it as many times as you need. And also, I can be honest with you through the thing here. So, that is what we're watching here. So, thunderstorm timing's medium, and area of the highest threat is medium, but the storm mode is high. So, like, basically, the storm mode is the parameters are going to be there to have severe storms. It's just exactly if we have morning convection, will it limit the storms, or are we full send in the afternoon? And like I said, if you haven't already heard, we will be live for the whole event. We have multiple people, maybe additional people that will help us throughout the storms. And the question about is Reed Timmer going to be in their area, we just have to see. Okay, we just have to see. There is a possibility that it could, and there's also a possibility that everybody in this risk will not see a strong tornado. Not everybody's going to see a strong tornado from Farmington to Jerseyville. Not every house, every subdivision, everything will not have a strong tornado. And we can't give off ratings. Like when we say strong tornado, it could be on the EF2, but it's not guaranteed it's going to be EF2 to EF5. Okay? That's just a prediction. But I think, like I said, the main thing is, like I said, we're switching severe weather to likely, because I think we'll see severe weather regardless, but just the intensity is uncertain. So that is the main thing. So we will see severe weather. I feel confident telling you at this stage of the game that we will see severe weather. That's why we changed it to likely. But the intensity, if we're going to have strong tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, it's uncertain. And it's also uncertain if we have morning convection that will limit the severe weather. If we have severe weather in the morning, we could still have severe weather in the afternoon. And if we have rain in the morning that's not severe, we could still have severe weather in the afternoon. It just won't be strong, if that makes sense. So, does anybody have any questions so far in the live stream? I know we went through a lot. There's a lot of data going right now. But does anybody have any questions? Like I said, we will have more posts. And if you guys want to, we can have another update as well. Another update live stream to let you guys know what's happening. I think we'll probably most likely have that. I think we'll most likely have a update tomorrow. But I just wanted to let you guys know what is on the table. You guys need to keep it on your radar. Make sure, during the weekend, it wouldn't hurt to have multiple ways to have receive alerts. Like I said, we're going to be live this whole event, so we'll provide alerts. We'll have multiple ways. We're on YouTube, so if you have YouTube and unless you play it in the background, that's also another place. So, and I think it puts captions, so if you're working or not, but at this stage of the game, at least Saturday, what time is it? Saturday at 7:53. There's no need to cancel things right now. Let's get a little bit more better data. And basically the better data will come late tonight into tomorrow. But I just want to let you guys know. It's possible that we could see an upgrade to 4 out of 5. If it's possible for 4 out of 5, it is okay. You're going to see a lot of people post about it, but it's okay. We're going to get through this regardless, everyone. Okay, we're going to get through it. We've been through a few other ones. We've been through the May tornado last year. Now, tore parts of Bridgeton and places like that. We're still here. So, we're going to be okay. Okay? We're going to be okay with this severe weather event. I know it's one of the higher end situations. I know it's okay. I understand you guys want to be scared, but we just don't have a slam dunk details yet. Renee says, please have another live stream tomorrow. Okay. Live stream announced on the live stream that we will have another live stream at 7 p.m. as well. But don't be surprised if you wake up. Don't be surprised if you wake up and you see me post a 4 out of 5, okay? It is certainly possible. That means they really don't think the early morning storms are going to limit anything. So that is something to watch. And I know you're wondering about, what about the cap the last time? The cap is going to be there in the morning, but it's just going to here's the cap. It's just, see ya, okay? It's not really going to do much. It's going to be there at the beginning. It's going to allow warm and humid air to rise and get ready and get nasty. So that is my prediction. So, but it did get extended out to the west. So Jefferson City, the Lynn area, Columbia, all those places this afternoon got added to the 3 out of 5. So this could still shift around as well. If there's morning convection, I do think the enhanced may come down a little bit. So that is something to watch. Huge weather outbreak going through Oklahoma and just near the Fort Worth, Dallas area. That is interesting there. But yeah, that is my thoughts on the severe weather. So like I said, what you guys need to take home tonight after the live stream is that we are going to see severe weather. Okay, we're going to see the severe weather, but the intensity is not set in stone. The intensity is not set in stone, but I just want to let you guys know that there is a possibility. There is a chance that we could have a tornado that could be on the strong side. I don't see tornado outbreak yet because when these form, they could just form all together, have a party, and now we're just talking about spin-ups and tornadoes. But I do feel like at least towards the Mount Vernon and Nashville area, it'll be more towards a line at that point. But the good news is it's just afternoon, evening, nothing late night, overnight. So that is one good thing about this, it's not overnight. We don't have to stay up for it. So that is a really good news. And of course, Kenny, myself, you'll see me again. We're gonna be with you, take care of you throughout the whole point from start to beginning of the storms. As long as we have power, internet, we should be all right. As long as we have power, we will be here covering it live. So does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? I know it's very nice out, so a couple people didn't get to tune in. I was told they weren't able to make it. But that is the situation. So right now, we just have a severe weather risk. That means scattered severe storms are possible. 4 out of 5 means numerous. Okay? 4 out of 5 means numerous storms available. So let me see. Just want to check a couple things. Just want to see if the NAM started loading and if it has. Okay, so the 0Z is coming in. So that is something we're going to have to watch. That is going to take almost till 9 o'clock. Not going to hold you guys up till 9 o'clock because it's a very nice evening outside. But like I said, we spend about an hour. Generally where I like to be with these discussion streams. But like I said, 3 out of 5 of severe weather is in place today. Could be an upgrade to 4 out of 5 depending on the storm mode and early morning convection. And there is a possibility that we could see some strong end storms that could be likely around our area. Not for everybody, but for most of us. So that is the update. That is the breakdown. Like I said, we're going to post the new model run data this evening. Basically, essentially what we talked about during this live stream. So if you couldn't watch it, you have that to look at as well. And we will have multiple updates on Sunday morning, and we'll have our weather video, and we will have our live stream. So like I said, we're going to have lots of updates. We are officially in the mode where we can actually watch the models, but if you're looking at the models by yourself, don't take it like 100%, okay? Models are just a computer-based program. Try to factor in the data situations, but you can't go off of it 100%. Can't go off of it 100%. You have to analyze a little bit, and it's not going to pop up right over Wentzville. It could be, between Wentzville. Wentzville might not see nothing. So it's that kind of thing. So if you're looking at data, if you see model runs, just get the general idea of what is going to happen. Basically, what I'm looking at with these models, if it's going to be a discrete setup or if it's going to be a linear mode, basically in line of thunderstorms, that is basically what I'm monitoring right now. So we'll have another live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. by popular demand. So I think we're going to head off for now. I'm going to look over some data. Like I said, we have new data coming in right now. This is our first look at the HRRR that goes out through the event. And, I'm going to be very excited because I've been waiting for this like forever. It's like finally, once we get this data, we can compare it to the other short resolution models. So I'm going to post my thoughts about the HRRR tonight around 9 o'clock. So stay up just a little bit late if you want additional information. And we will post our thoughts. But lots of updates and a live stream is going to be needed tomorrow, and a live stream will most likely be needed on Friday. And there's more than likely a chance that we'll have a tornado watch. Don't really see them issuing a severe thunderstorm watch unless something magically happens and we don't have a severe weather risk at all. So that is what we're watching. So a lot of things that we're monitoring here. We'll continue to keep you advised on the Facebook page, and we'll have another live stream, last call live stream. So make sure you set your phones alarm for 7 p.m. For a last call live stream for the severe weather event. That's going to be a last live stream before the main event that we will talk about the storm besides the morning time when we post. But a last live interactive stream for this severe weather event. This requires 2 streams, Saturday and Sunday. Just because the severity of this event, it requires 2 live streams that will be needed for this, and live coverage will be also needed. There's a 70% chance that I will have to go live on Monday, which we will, because our job is letting us work around the schedule and the business needs for me to be here for you. So that is great news. So I'm going to wrap up the live stream, and I'm going to sit patiently with my popcorn at the studio. So I'm going to sit here with my dessert, ice cream, popcorn, and I'm going to sit here, watch the models update every minute with each hour, and then we'll have a post around 9 p.m. And then that would be that. Then we'll have a live stream tomorrow. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in for this live discussion stream. We'll keep you advised on the Team Kenny weather page, as we do have a threat of severe weather coming Monday afternoon and evening. So make sure you stay aware. Make sure this get prepared, not an emergency kit, but make sure the warnings on your phone are set. Make sure the warnings on your phone are set to on. And make sure, even though we're live, make sure you have other ways to receive alerts and don't rely on tornado sirens to tell you when to take shelter. But we plan to be here 100%. If any warnings do get issued, that will be first to be live. And we'll be live the whole event as long as we have power and not really internet, basically power at this point. So, alrighty, everybody, make sure you have a great and safe weekend. Please don't stress about Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Nice weather still. Very nice evening going on right now. So, just relax. It'll be okay. We'll get through it. You have me. I'm going to keep you safe. I'm not going to scare you. And we'll get through it together. I live in the Creve Coeur area. I'm under the threat of severe weather, so I know how you feel. I'm in it too, so I'm not in a different location. So we'll get through it together. So, alrighty, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Make sure you watch out for the stream on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Update tonight around 9 p.m. Multiple updates in the morning, but please don't be shocked if we have a 4 out of 5. And we will also get a better idea of exactly why we have enhanced risk. Is it for tornadoes, wind, or hail? So we'll let you guys know that in the morning as well. All right, everybody, we're going to sign off for now. Oh, wait, no, we're not going to sign off just yet. I forgot. When I don't have my girlfriend, director of operations. Usually everything's ready to go. So usually everything's ready to go, and I just have to talk, and she just changes it. But all right, we're going to head off now. We're going to stare at our monitors and data. We'll have another update, and we'll have more updates coming tomorrow. Have a great night. We'll see you later.